Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I release a legacy video every Friday. Hello everyone, Martin here, back with another legacy video. So today I am back playing Doomsday, and I am playing the same main deck that I've sort of been playing for a while now and been reasonably happy with. My issue is with the sideboard. I don't really know exactly how to construct it, and there are a couple of problems I would like to work on solving. One being how to approach the presence of Eldrazi in the format, and the second being how to balance the sideboard to also be able to combat combo. So I feel like this sideboard with this main deck is pretty well set up to fight a Grixis Delver, any Dimir tempo deck, probably with the exception of Dimir Scaminator, that still, even though they're no longer scamming us with grief, the deck is still like blue-black tempo reanimator is still a thing, and I think it's also decently set up there because we have the cages, and I think this with this plan of boarding in creatures, then the sideboard hate has to specifically be Grafdigger's Cage, because boarding in something like Leyline of the Void is just a nightmare. If they, or it's not a nightmare, but what will tend to happen, and I speak from experience, is you sit with your Doomsday plan swapped out for a creature plan. You have 4 ley lines, so you hit one in your opening 7 or 6. You're really happy, and then they discard your the creature, and then they animate it. And obviously, that's not going to happen as often now because there's no more grief. But those lists, I think, have replaced some number of griefs with some number of Thoughtseizes. I've even seen decks play Unmask. So I think you need to not like your own graveyard is not a safe place for your creatures to go if you don't have protection. All right, so how do we beat Eldrazi? I played a couple of what do you call it? The Consign to Memory spell. I played that, and I think that was an overcorrection because what I would do is I would board in some number of like Barrowgoyfs and maybe Shouldreds, maybe like some removal spells, and then Consign to Memory. And I don't think I cast very many Consign to Memory during that time, because when I won, and my record is fairly good in this period since Eldrazi sort of came back into popularity, and whenever I win, it almost always has been just from putting Doomsday on the stack early, and then like either ignoring or being able to beat the Disruptor Flute or the Kozilek's command card. And whenever I play creatures versus them, and I sit and I think that I can sort of outgrind them, it becomes pretty obvious that that's almost impossible. The Eldrazi deck grinds, I think, better than any deck currently. Their long game is almost unbeatable because of all their cast triggers, at least unbeatable versus a blue grind strategy, because your removal spells and the Dimir removal spells in particular are not even that good versus them, because they're like, you need Revolt often to kill something with Fatal Push. Dismember doesn't kill like all of their stuff, and also like even if it does remove them, they have already done something either on cast or on ETB. And what will often happen if you allow the game to go beyond turns like 4, 5, 6 is they just start chaining Sowing Myco Spawns or chaining Devourer of Destinies and just exiling your creatures. Also, Psychic Frog has felt pretty weak against Eldrazi. The presence of Eldrazi is what most gives me pause to think about the inclusion of main deck Psychic Frog, because it doesn't race them. They have a removal spell for it in Kozilek's command, and like again, playing Psychic Frog, when it helps you out in game 1, it's because it draws you into Doomsday. It's not because you sit and just rub your hands while grinding for turns on end and drawing an extra card a turn. At least that's my experience. And I guess the second thing, no, sorry, just to wrap that up. So I'm actually pretty comfortable as things stand right now, just trying to be the faster combo deck. The faster deck versus Eldrazi, and just try to be a fast Doomsday deck. Resolving the One Ring is also pretty good because outside of Disruptor Flute, I don't think they have that much that beats it. And like casting and like getting the One Ring down the turn before they want to Thought Knot Seer you is a pretty big game. But obviously, like just winning with Doomsday is what we want to do. I don't really think there are a lot of good sideboard options that we could play. I don't think we want or could afford to play stuff like Harbinger of the Seas or like other land hate. Potentially like the old Wonder Brew tempo list with a couple of Wastelands and 3 Stifles might be cool because Stifle has text versus them, and Wasteland, like getting their mana is I think how either you beat Eldrazi by either getting their mana or by just being faster. So I think I'm okay currently not having that much to bring in. I think maybe ideally I would like to have a second Brazen Borrower also just to bounce Merit Lodge out of lands decks, but I think having the, sometimes you do need to bounce something to live another turn or to get rid of that chalice. Now, about the combo decks, I do feel quite naked not having a single Force of Negation here, but I also think that Force of Negation is not very good versus the premier Ancient Tomb deck, which is Eldrazi. And I don't think that there is that much combo aside from blue black like Reanimator. And I think versus and there has been a resurgence of black red Reanimator I've noticed, and for that like the Grafdigger's Cages are nice things to bring in. So I feel like we do have stuff to bring in like there versus Oops as well. But yeah, like we don't have a lot to bring in versus whatever. If, Show and Tell, Storm is also like I think we're like Doomsday has historically always been pretty well set up to play against other combo decks because we are the Force Days Thoughtseize combo deck, and that's a nice place to be. But we don't have a lot of extra sort of firepower to bring in. You'll notice I have a copy of Emrakul and Sheldog Isle in my sideboard. Um, I still kind of keep expecting Painter and never really facing it, but I do like having the Emrakul for Painter. And I think there are sort of big Jace decks popping up, like Miracles and whatnot. And I think having Sheldog plus Emrakul is pretty nice there to beat, you know, what do you call it? I guess like dress down and stuff. It's you can build up a pretty compact pile. But that's enough yapping. I feel like this took way too long. Sorry for that. And let's jump into a league. All right, on the play for round number 1. And this is a mulligan, no mana. Yeah, we'll keep this. Probably I would like to... I'm going to bottom the Underground Sea because my logic there is while I would like to ponder on turn 1, I also would like to have Thassa's Oracle to pitch to Force of Will. So I'm going to just start off with an Undercity Sewers, see if we can hit like Doomsday here. I'd also take the One Ring. I think I'm going to bottom or Graveyard the Daze. Alright, let's see what the opponent is up to over there. Flooded Strand. I'm happy to not have a Wasteland come at me. Basic Island to go. Interesting. Would have expected like a Ponder or a Tameo or something. And we hit a land, so I'm just gonna play this and cast the Ponder here. Island might mean Stifle, I'm not sure. Ooh, Doomsday plus Days. Love this. Okay, I'm actually going to... I think I'm going to just draw the Days and have Doomsday as my top card here. So for some reason, someone is firing off like fireworks outside my home at 10 p.m. On a Sunday evening. It's September 22nd, and I'm not sure if there was something going on like that. All right, never mind. Here we go. We're going to draw the Doomsday, and opponent shows us basic planes open. So the most scary thing we have to worry about, uh, realistically, is like a silence effect here. That won't matter. This is most likely cephalid breakfast. So, and seeing as we already have the undercity sewers in play, I'm just going to. I think I'm just going to fetch twice. Um. So what do we want to do here? We could cast. We could like draw. Consider away Thassa's Oracle, draw Cycler, cycle into Unearth, but then that kind of loses to counter shenanigans. We could also, yeah, I don't know. No, but I do think we're just going to fetch twice here, and I'm not going to. I'm not going to tap out though, because tapping out seems like a little bit of an unnecessary risk if they have days. So let's hope they don't have a double force here. And then we'll worry about the pile once Doomsday is on the stack. They have force of negation. Okay, I'm going to force pitching Thassa. Force of negation makes me think maybe this is like blue-white control. Looks like they might have another force though. There's a big pause here. Okay, no, okay, it resolved. So how do we want to slice this? I don't think we can do the unearth thing because I just lost my other Thassa, so I don't have a backup one. So I do think I need to go through the cavern. So let's put Cavern of Souls and Thassa's Oracle in here. And the question is if we feel like we need to check their hand, like if they might be playing something like Consign to Memory in the main deck. I'm not ruling anything out here. But I think I am just going to go for a... I'm going to pass the turn twice here. And maybe I don't have to. Like if they end up tapping out next turn, I think I'll just cycle through the deck and cast Thassa without putting her through the cavern. Yeah, let's do this. Because like if they tap out and I have the days, that kind of thing. So cavern needs to be the bottom, then Thassa, and then I guess the two Street Wraiths can go on top. Alright, let's see. They could just like try and like illusionist Days Undoing, huh? Alright, let's just check it here. So I can't let this resolve like on the face of things, because if I do, I'll draw 7 cards, and then it'll be my turn, and my library will be empty. What I can do is I can daze here. If I daze, pick up a land, then even if they force, then the Days Undoing is fine, because then I'll like have 1 card left. I wonder if I'm supposed to Undercity Sewers here. Pick up that one? Probably not. Let's just daze. If they have a force, I really actually kind of hope they use it now, because then I don't think I can lose. Okay, that was daze. I'm gonna sit on the Underground Sea for the reason I just mentioned, and I'm just gonna pass. Like, so if they have another Days Undoing, we won't die. And if they have like Narset here or Hull Breacher, Narset, okay, then I can just cycle through the shit now, and it's all good. And I guess I'll tap and sacrifice this Undercity Sewers. Okay, this is interesting. So this is day breach, or whatever you want to call it. Unless they can like, if they have like a build with LEDs and Echo Avions and stuff, then it should be sort of. All right, not quite sure how I'm supposed to slice it here. So if this was just blue-white X control, I would be pretty interested in bringing in Emrakul and Sheldar Isle. I might still want to do that, but them being like a Days Undoing deck makes me a little bit worried about that. I might want to have the long goodbye to kill a well, this kills planeswalkers and also kills hull breacher, so I think I definitely want that. I think also I might even board out these psychic frogs here just because I wouldn't mind just blanking their swords to plowshares completely. And so what's the maybe I'll bring in a brazen borrower that can just sort of pressure a planeswalker or bounce a hull breacher or a planeswalker or a Narset with a Days Undoing on the stack, for instance. Call it a day. If I do it like this, I'm leaving in Lineside Diamond, which is typically not something I like to do versus this type of deck. So maybe the blanking the removal is not good enough, and I'd rather like be cutting. Consider LED and like a cycler, and then maybe I don't want a brazen borrower anyways. Yeah, let's try this. Double oracle is also a little bit clunky. Don't think we need that. Maybe consider is just fine enough. Yeah, let's try this. All right. Yeah, this kind of is an interesting pile of cards here. Opponent also kept 7. The same start. I'll probably go Undercity Sewers here. Yeah, I guess Ponder is worth keeping on top. I would be kind of interested in just like sending the frog next turn, and we'll see what they have to say about that. And if they plow it, like ideally they also spend the other land this turn. I would love that. Um, so as to at least if they have removal, they have to use it next turn. Oh, but it's not even plow. They have blue mana here. Interesting. All right, let's. We have to be wary about, or at least cognizant of, back to basics. So maybe actually getting a basic island here, because we have the dark ritual, so we can at a later point like ritual out a Doomsday or the One Ring. And if they force here, I'm very hesitant to force back because of the open blue mana. They probably have then like they're representing like Flusterstorm or something, but they just brainstorm, so that's not something to worry about. Now I might protect it. Oh, okay. So let's hope that they weren't sort of counting on having to play against the frog. Surgical extraction on polluted delta. Okay. I mean that's obviously a little bit annoying because they got one from my hand, but this is sort of card neutral. And I think they're just doing this to peek at my hand, basically. But they did get one. And yeah, I mean card neutral because they are spending a surgical extraction, which is a card in their hand, and taking a polluted delta, which is a card in my hand. They shuffle. I like that. Brainstorm. Well, looks like maybe they're like really digging for either the white mana or the removal spell, or both, if we're lucky. Okay, they found a land, and let's just send it here. And if they plow here, I will probably brainstorm to see if I can hit a daze. But they didn't, so I just get my card here. Oh, and there was a daze. That's really sweet. Okay, so if we hit like any action here, we don't. Let's put back one of these lands and one of these rituals. It's unfortunate we can't get to basic swamp now with these fetch lands, but hey, it is what it is. All right, let's ponder. I'm going to ponder off of Undercity Sewers. Not that I think it makes a big difference. Camera Souls, Thoughtseize, Ponder. Honestly, getting this Thoughtseize seems like a pretty legit deal. And then I'm going to draw the Ponder next turn and probably shuffle before drawing Cavern of Souls with Frog. But I feel like their deck is not going to like having their thoughts seized here. Oh, there is a lot of good stuff there. So next turn, they have a plethora of 3-drops here to just get us. Which one is which one would we be mostly concerned with? Unfortunately, they can beat the days, and I think these two sort of back to basic effects are most concerning because we have Long Goodbye. So I think I'm gonna take. I'll probably take the Harbinger, and we'll see which one they want to commit to next turn. I guess them surgicling the Delta was also a way to stopping me from getting to basic Swamp, but I don't know if they sort of went that deep. Okay, they're drawing a blind card. If it's a Force of Will or like a counterspell of some sort, then it's a little bit scary. Okay, looks like, is it back to basics time? It is. Okay, I'm gonna Force of Will, and I probably pitch. What do I pitch? I probably pitch the Daze. Like if they have drawn exactly Spell Pierce here, then I'm gonna be sad because, or like Red Blast, but that would appear to not have been the case. Okay, so the back to basics is gone. I'm gonna ponder here. There's the One Ring. I think I just and the basic Swamp, huh? Yeah, I'm gonna go for this. You can't stop me. So let's start off by attacking. And now I kind of wish I hadn't burned the Force on that, but I am gonna just jam the ring here, and then like Narset. I'm trying to think here if I want to kill Narset or Mentor with this Long Goodbye. Let's just start off by drawing here, and then I think probably I Brainstorm now. This might be silly, but like, yeah, there we go. Force of Will. Looks like Narset? Yeah. Okay, so their hand is, like, if their hand is a Red Blast and I burn off a Force of Will here, I'm going to be super sad. Yeah, I think I just let this resolve and then I Long Goodbye it. What's this art? Eh. Alright, there's a Reb. That's good to know. Okay, they might Reb the Frog. I'm gonna say no, 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 no. Do 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 do. I mean, if they kill the frog, maybe I'm supposed to just let that happen. But I am sort of hoping that the game is not going to go that much longer. So maybe the Mentor isn't that scary. And there's still a Cavern of Souls on top of the deck. I'm going to shuffle that away. And yeah, playing with Frog, you do have to wonder if you're supposed to like keep cards in your hand just to use as Frog pump later on. Days. Yeah, not loving Days right now. Oof, rough, but I guess that's why we pump the Frog. Their life total is also sort of low here. And kind of stoked that they have been fetching out all these basics, so the Mystic Sanctuary was not a play there. Okay, here comes the... Oh, it's another Narset. Well, that's annoying. Okay. Let's see if they find like Plow If they do, then they're sort of in business because I really have a lot here. Plow or blast would be pretty good for them. Yeah. Ugh, gross. Okay. Yeah, that was kind of rough for our hero here. I think I might just lose now. Pedal. And I guess I just pass. And then I can tap the ring and draw one card on their turn. But yeah, they're out of here now, I think. Let's see what they find with Narset. If it's Days on Doing, I probably just concede rather than keep playing. Okay, it's a Ponder. There's the Mentor now. So that means they're sort of shutting off the possibility of Days Undoing this turn. So what's our hope here? I think I do need to draw with Ring. And then let's see if Ring draws me Brazen Barrow. No, I didn't port that in. After all, I don't think. Yeah, no, the Brazen Bar is in my sideboard. I don't really think there's a lot to be had here. If I draw both a Doomsday, like if Ring draws me Doomsday and then Upkeep or Draw Step draws me another Ring, then maybe that's a line that gets us through this. But there's Doomsday. All right, GG's opponent. Let's see if we can get game 3. Yeah, I don't think we want Frog. Like, they have a million blasts and whatnot, and they're if they boarded out their plows, they probably bring them back in now. I don't know if they saw the frogs in my exile pile game 1. Okay. How about we just board in LED, the Street Wraith, and maybe like Dismember for Harbinger of the Seas. That seems like to be a really big plan of theirs, and it can get the Mentor as well if that's the thing we have to worry about. I'm sort of hoping it's not going to be an issue here. They probably also have Consign to Memory in their 60 post board. I would kind of have to assume that in today's economy. Yes, I would like to be on the play. I think I keep here and then just hope to be able to jam consecutively. And maybe I cycle here. Let's see if I can get lucky and hit a Dark Ritual. Third Doomsday. Oh, that's ugly. Pyroblast, huh? Alright, let's get Undercity Sewers. Days. It's just this feels like a deck that's never gonna tap out, but I'm gonna keep it on top. They are like laden with 3-drops. Okay. Let's pass here, and then it's jam time. I'm expecting maybe like a cantrip here. And, well, so if they were to let Doomsday resolve here, then I would expect them to have Back to Basics or Harbinger. Is this Flusterstorm? Brainstorm, okay. They also did show us the Surgical for game 2, so like they could have like force this Surgical you, which would be rough. That would actually be like game over. So they had force. Do I cycle the Street Wraith? I think I do. If I hit Force of Will, I don't. Okay. Yeah, I was going to say, if I hit Force of Will, I feel like they don't have the ability to fetch another red source with their Flooded Strand for the Pyroblast, which they are so clearly. Oh, fuck off. All right, I'm just going to concede. Yeah, no point in playing on here. I boarded out all the frogs. Can't win. That's unfortunate, but that's sort of how the cookie crumbles sometimes playing this type of deck. All right, on to round number two. Okay, on the draw here with a yeah, I'm gonna keep maybe probably against what is wise here, and looks like we're up against a cheeky opponent here. Oh, it's a Moon Stompy deck, or oh, it's the Ruby Storm. Okay, Rite of Flame, Seething Song. Uh oh, it's a sneak attack plus activate. LED. Okay. Wow. Goblin Charbelcher. Do I double Street Wraith here? Let them know what I'm doing in the hopes of hitting Force of Will plus blue card. I mean, I guess I'm supposed to do that. If this doesn't hit a blue card or a force, I'm not cycling. It hit this blue card. Okay, let's cycle again. No. Okay. We'll see. I mean, there was a time when these decks played one Taiga. Something tells me they don't because of the new multi or whatever they're called. Multi-mode double face land cards, whatever. So we'll get to see their deck at least. They revealed the whole deck, which means they didn't hit a land because they built the deck correctly, etc. and so on. Multiple vexing baubles. All right, cool. So we're up against sort of a Belcher Echo Evian's deck. Not sure they're a deck that can beat, like that feels good about having Shieldred. Grafdigger's Cage stops Echo Vians from being flashback. That's not nothing. And I think maybe we just board out the frogs here. I don't see that being. I guess that takes down to 18 blue cards, which is, not a lot. All right. Yeah, we keep these. Opponent also kept 7. I think I just go pondering for Doomsday here. I'll take the One Ring as well. I guess maybe I'm supposed to Street Wraith first, because if we find one of the cards we're after, then I'll just keep my ponder, because I am, like, blue cards are at a bit of a premium, and right now I have Force plus Days. And so maybe I'm supposed to, like, value that. Shieldred, huh? Okay, I think that counts, so I'm gonna just pass here. Like, Goblin Charbelcher obviously doesn't care at all about Shieldred, but we'll see. And if I guess what I'm most concerned about right now, it would be them like playing Vexing Bauble. And so if they do, I think I have to daze it, which then postpones the arrival of Shieldred, which is not good. And maybe I can't even daze it. I think, yeah, they are a Spirit Guide deck. Ooh, they're shocking or bolting this in. So Mox Opal, huh? Okay, a lot of stuff happening here. LED. Okay, well. And then Vexing Bauble. No. 4 mana. Goblin Charbelcher. Okay, so I'm going to force, and if their last card in hand is Echo, then I also have that covered with the days. That looks like it wasn't the case. If their last card is another Charbelcher, what do I take here? What do I try and jam? Like, on the one hand, Ring gets me digging for more interaction, but I think Shieldred just finishes the game earlier and shuts off, like, Echo of Eons as a live draw. Plus, we're only like 2 mana away from also casting Ring. Let's see here. Yeah, so if they have Charbelcher and then just drew like a 1 mana producing thing, then my daze is good. Oh, they have the Echo. Okay. I mean, this is probably fine for them. Is dazing this? They have right now 6 mana. Would me like losing a land to to make them only have 5 mana matter? I think it might because I like. Oh, hang on. They're gonna take 14, so they're gonna be at 1. I'm just gonna daze this. I don't know that it'll matter, but I think it can't really hurt me because the game's gonna be probably over one way or the other, anyways. Come on, force. No. Okay, and I also just gain like a million life here. I gain 14, so I'll be at 29. That's unfortunately not going to be anywhere near enough to survive the Charbelcher activation. Okay. And unfortunately, I drew shit. Yep, do your worst. But it has to be Belcher now. Oh, gamble. Okay. Let's hope to see a Belcher hit the graveyard. Ooh, yes. I hope that's good. I would assume that's what they went for. But yeah, I don't know. Let's see if they're continuing to play. So we might just be dead anyways. But I think surely they gambled for the Belcher, unless they already had a Belcher in hand. But then what? They gambled for a second Belcher? That doesn't make sense. And if they had the Belcher in hand, they could just play it. Maybe they had like Belcher and then needed the LED to activate. I don't know. Vexing Bauble, okay. Is there a way for them to get through Shieldred here? I don't think so. If they can, maybe they can bounce her or something. But yeah, like Vexing Bauble, draw a card doesn't even work, so. Well, mana. Okay, here's another gamble. But now they don't have, I think, the mana to play the Belcher. I don't know, let's see. Another gamble. What goes into the graveyard? Burning Wish went into the graveyard. That could have been what they wished for or gambled for. So if their hand is like some kind of ritual effect that gets into 4 mana and a Charbelcher, then I'm dead. Yeah, if they have like Seething Song. Okay, but they didn't. Sweet. Shieldred did what she had to do. That felt scary though. Oh, yeah. Is there a world where having a Brazen Borrower matters at all? Could they be? Is there some kind of reason? I'm trying to find a way to sort of upholster my deck with another blue card for the Force of Will count. I suppose it could just be another, like a frog. Replacing what though? I really want to be fast here, so I don't want to cut on like my Street Wraiths or the LED or whatever. Okay, I am just gonna resubmit, I think. Okay, opponent is on a mulligan here. I have only 4 Force of Will, and I don't think I can really afford to mulligan for them, so I'm going to keep this hand. We have the Hail Mary Street Wraith into Force as a possibility, and then we also have, like, if opponent feels like they have to respect our hand, but they don't because they're just, oh, they're gambling, okay. Probably for LED or Echo. Okay. If that's the case, I don't hate them finding like losing a pedal here. Okay, they're passing. Interesting. Okay, let's see if we can hit pay dirt here. Another land. It's not terrible. I really don't know what's best in terms of keeping the Street Wraith here. Or not. Probably not. I think I probably am better off just cycling it. Yeah, I think I'm going to cycle here. Hitting something like another land would suck, but okay, days. Yeah, I'll take it. Alright, let's ponder. Let's find a good one, please. Oh, quad Doomsdays. Well, if they had Echo of Eons, I'm pretty sure they would have cast it, so I'm not going to value the Grafdigger's Cage that highly. And I am going to just shuffle here. I don't have much faith that this Daze is going to Vexing Bauble. So if I Daze, I think I'm not going to Daze. Like I could Daze here, and that would just make them have one fewer mana on this turn. And here's an Echo. Yep, that happens. And well, I mean, if we get a turn, we can at least put Doomsday on the stack here. They have to get rid of their Vexing Bauble, I think, for their deck to really function here because of all their 0 drops. And yeah, they're passing. Okay. Okay. I don't know here. Like, I could go Doomsday, but then I could go Doomsday, but then I have to pass because of Vexing Bauble. Man, if there wasn't a Vexing Bauble, I'd be out of here. So if I go Doomsday, then they have to probably get rid of their Vexing Bauble next turn, and they have 7 cards, and they might just be able to cobble together a win, and I have no protection. But if I don't do that, then what? Maybe like because I think they have to get rid of the Vexing Bauble in order for their hand to function here. So I think maybe I am better off just not sort of committing to the Doomsday and passing and then being completely defenseless. And if they do get rid of the Bauble, then, I have a same turn win next turn. Wow, just taking all the damage. 3 mana? What's this? Could be a Seething Song, yes. Okay, so what's the worst that could happen here? They play out what's it called? Mm, the thing. The Goblin Charbelcher. And then they have 1 mana floating. They use that to crack their Vexing Bauble, and then they dump out LEDs. And if they have more than one LED, well, if they have a LED, my Brainstorm has to hit. Okay, I'm gonna let this resolve. I don't think brainstorming now is the thing to do. I do imagine a Belcher hitting or being put on the stack now. Defense grid. Uh-oh. I think I'm just gonna cast a brainstorm here now. I'm not gonna be able to do anything anything good here anyways. Well, I guess the ring is kind of interesting because the ring, if I survive, if I get another turn, the ring makes it so they can't Belcher me. Okay, let's put back Thassa and Petal. And yeah, you got me. I am at your mercy. Vexing Bauble and Defense Grid, the double whammy. If you control add mana for each card in my hand, so they get 7 red mana here. Good deal. Don't expect us to survive this. Okay, the Bauble is gone. My Force of Will is free. Let's see if this is You're Dead with a Belcher or if it's Echo of Eons. Another gamble. Okay, so it's 50-50 shot of what they're getting is going to the graveyard. And that was a Burning Wish, so... Oh no. Yeah, GG's. They have the tendrils. Right on. Storm is Xaxes. Okay, on the draw for round number 3. I'm going to keep this hand. It's pretty interesting, I guess. Has a turn 2 frog. Can unearth it if it gets killed. Can Thoughtseize. Can do stuff. Oh, okay. Another Dark Ritual Gamer. Oh, it's the mirror. Interesting. Whoops. Yep. Don't really have a lot I can do here. Alright, let's have a look at the opponent's list here. There are frogs. Looks somewhat similar to what I'm playing. Do they have ring? No, there's a stifle. Oh, that's a spicy meatball. Wastelands. This looks like Wonderprew ish, but with a couple of frogs, 3 frogs. Maybe they have the fourth in their hand. There's a watery grave as well. How many wastelands? 2. Yep. How many forces? 4 forces. I don't see any. There's 1, 2 dazes, 2 stifle, 3 days. Okay, and 1 oracle here. Looks like there's a cavern of souls as well, so it looks like they are just kind of making a slow pass the turn pile. All right. Well, maybe probably what we just want to thoughts this here. Hope they're stuck with their oracle in hand, and that gets us. And I'm not. Well, I don't hate drawing that force of will. But yeah, I do expect them to just have a line that leads to Cavern of Souls. I guess we take the Edge of Autumn here. So they had a 3rd wasteland. Wow. And the 4th. And I guess we pass. Yeah, so I really don't expect to win here, but we'll see. Wasteland, sure. Okay. Don't really care about that. I'll probably force of will almost anything here at this point. Maybe ponder. And I find a daze. I think this is a shuffle. I don't think there is any way maybe. Is there any way I can mess them up here? I don't think so, but I do think I shuffle rather than take the daze. Okay, we pass. Okay, so there's a land, so their last 2 cards are probably, the 3 cards are probably Thassa, Cavern, and a land to fetch out. Okay, I think I'm going to. Do I reveal what I am here? They may know that I am Doomsday. I guess I'll play Frog. I mean, I'm an Underground Sea deck in the year 2024. They probably would expect me to have Frog, even if I was Doomsday. It'd be funny to like one-shot them here. I can't believe they would like expose the cavern and not have. Yeah, okay. So they had the cycler. Yep. And even if I had a removal spell, they could just fetch out the last card. All right, GG's. All right. So in terms of the sideboard, I don't mind at all sort of not being Doomsday here, and I would expect to need like a significant amount of removal spells here. I'm worried about them having Murktide Regent. So if I board in these 11 spells here, I will probably board out most, if not all, of my Doomsday package. Let's just see how much we want to board out. I believe in 1 Thassa, because there is sort of there's a non-zero chance that we will draw so many cards that like Thassa even without Doomsday is not completely unreasonable. Then again, all right, let's see here. 17 blue cards plus 4, that's 21, plus 1, that's 22. I would ideally like to not go any lower, so maybe like cutting the Street Wraiths is something I'm gonna do. And maybe the Consider, and then maybe the Cabal Ritual. How about that? I think that's fine. Let's resubmit. Okay, on the play here, let's hope for a good one. I mean, I'll take this. I'm not in love with it, but I think I'm gonna Thoughtseize here. Yeah, let's Thoughtseize and see what we see. Okay, so they have a lot of removal here and a Psychic Frog. I think I'm gonna get rid of the Frog here. They can Wasteland me. Can't really do anything about that. They have shown us Stifle, right? So we do have to kind of respect that. So I think I'm just gonna fetch basic island here. And I think I'm going to brainstorm now. I would have done it on their end of turn anyways. Ooh, that's actually really, really sweet. Okay, let's put back Thassa's Oracle and Psychic Frog, and then it is kind of a bummer that they have those two fatal pushes. They just make it Misty go. I think I'm gonna try and cast a brainstorm here rather than just like give them the 1-for-1 trade. Okay, let's put back. I think it might be the Dark Ritual and the Thassa. And I do kind of want to ponder now, but I also wouldn't mind getting my basic swamp underneath me. I think I'm just going to get an Underground Sea here, unless they drew Stifle, which it looks like they did. So there's one unknown in their hand, about to be two. Wow, really? And I force, and then they just have it all here. I force, they force back. They didn't even have to like cast the ponder. Yeah. And even if I were to play Frog, they can then just fatal push it. Yeah, that was strong. All right, so they're passing. Let's just have a look at the deck here. Yeah, the Cavern of Souls is in the pile. I don't think I have an out here. All right. Yeah. Sweet. I think maybe again we're down to like Thoughtseize being the best thing, and we've already expended one. Maybe I'll play Frog here. Like maybe if they have to spend a turn killing Frog, that messes them up somehow. And if they don't, then Frog can deal them 4 damage next turn, which probably doesn't matter because their life total is just so cushioned here at 9. We know both cards in their hand are fatal pushes. Yep. So what? I draw a land and then ponder into Thoughtseize or something like that. Well, there is the Thoughtseize. I guess we take that. So if the pile is, I guess, if the pile is Brainstorm that they just drew, or if it's like Cycler, or whatever, they don't care. Like their hand is okay, so they're passing. Yeah, I think basically we have to hope that they mess this up. But I don't see how they could, only if they are actually sitting on Thassa right now. And I mean, if they have Thassa like above, yeah, okay, it's the Cavern. All right, I'm just gonna concede. No point in wasting anyone's time here. GG's opponent. Okay, rough league. 0-3. Let's let's continue on this odyssey. On the draw once more. I'm gonna keep this hand. Cavern of Souls makes it maybe a little bit awkward, but and I really don't want to face tempo here, so please don't. Aether Vial. Okay, so it's goblins. I think I'm gonna Force of Will here. Like, first of all, Aether Vial pretty quickly invalidates Force of Will. Plus, an Aether Vial deck with a mountain means goblins. I'm almost sure of it, and that also means like Cavern of Souls. Okay, I guess. Do I risk? Like, I know what's riskier. Risking having them have Wasteland, which the Aether Vial builds of goblins is from times gone. So, and that those lists always play like Wasteland and Port. So what's worse, like having our Underground Sea wasted, or not drawing and like having fetching basic swamp and then just drawing blue spells? I think I'm actually gonna get the Underground Sea, and we will know shortly if we made a mistake. Oh, we made a mistake. Oh. So this can kill Psychic Frog. Oh my god. Okay, I mean, I'm gonna take the Goblin Matron. That's sort of what gets their party going here. But oh, that was those two wastelands. It's not what I wanted to see here. Yeah, how about don't wasteland me, please? No, why are you wastelanding me? Damn. And now I think like a land that gets basic swamp is probably my best draw or basic island. Yeah, okay. I'm. I don't think I'm gonna float Cavern of Souls here because that still eventually lets me play Psychic Frog if I find like a fetch land. And I don't know how good Psychic Frog is gonna be. Another Aether Vial, okay, but it might be good. Fetch land. Yes, okay. And I guess this fetch land can then get basic island and we can cast Ponder. Why not? That way we can still cast Psychic Frog next turn. Dark Ritual. Okay, well, I mean, that's kind of stacked. Okay, I'm going to want all of these cards. So let's do this. So my plan is going to be to play Cavern of Souls next turn, play Psychic Frog, be able to protect it with like discarding Ring and Thoughtseize if I have to, and then I'll draw Doomsday, and then I will be able to like win the same turn because Frog will draw me the first card of the pile. That's my plan. But the Aether Vial potentially messes that up. What's going on here? So right now the munitions expert can come through the vial, but won't be able to kill Frog. Even just at face value, I don't even have to pump or anything. Okay, Mog War Marshal changes things. That means if this comes down, it blasts for 3, and it kills a creature, not me. So this comes in, sure. It makes a 1/1, so it has a friend. And then, like, Expert can come in, then I discard Ring and Thoughtseize. Then I don't know if I can still win on the same turn, because I'll be like a card short. If they kill the Frog, I don't know. Am I supposed to just... Okay, well, here we go. 3 goblins. I think I have to ensure that the Frog survives. Yeah. But them doing this makes me worried that they might have another way to like kill it. But maybe this is just them like him to Toraking me. Okay. You get to wasteland me. And you have swamp. Interesting. So let's see. I will have access to a blue mana. I think maybe I'm just supposed to like make an attack here. So I'm gonna exile 3 cards. Let's just exile some lands here. And draw a card. Goblins is a deck that can sort of kill you out of nowhere, but sort of hoping that's not what's going to happen. Another ring. So the problem is my black mana availability right now. It is very tempting to like Dark Ritual out this ring. Not gonna lie. But then I think maybe I'm not supposed to do it and instead try and just go for the win next turn. Like unless they can put lethal on me here, I don't think that there's something that's gonna kill me. There's that old Portal 3 Kingdoms, or was it a starter 9099 card, the Goblin Settler, that sort of stone rains when it enters the battlefield, but I think that costs 4 or 5, I can't remember. So even if they were to like tutor it up, yeah, I don't know. Alright, so we take 2. They chose not to pay the echo cost. A lackey. Okay, so they have 1 card. There's 1 card I have to beat. They have the vial. Oh, it's just a wasteland. Okay, cool. So I'm just going to take my draw step here, and I think we have we have the win then. We just have to be able to like sequence things here. I'm gonna fetch basic swamp. Maybe I fetch underground sea and just not even let them know that I have basic swamp. So before Doomsday goes on the stack, we have to give this flying because there won't be 3 cards in the graveyard after Doomsday resolves, only 1. So now it has flying, and now we cast Dark Ritual, and we're going to need all these cards because we're going to make a brainstorm pile. I guess we would only need, we could discard 1 thing here, but we're not gonna. Okay, so Frog attacks, it draws this brainstorm. And then we cast Brainstorm, and that draws us a Cycler. Consider LED, and then Thassa will be the bottom card, and that should. Alright, so Thassa goes to the bottom, Brainstorm needs to be on top, the rest does not matter. Okie doke. And we have to attack with our Frog. That draws the Brainstorm, then second main, we do the thing. Put back a Dark Ritual and consider. Play out the LED. Remember to hold down Control to maintain priority. Sack a land. Discard your hand. Sacrifice LED for 3 blue. And we consider away the ritual into the graveyard. And there we go. Maybe I wasn't taking into consideration that I had a frog in play. Maybe we could have done it 1 turn earlier, but I don't think so because we were sort of stuck with 1 blue mana and no cards in hand except the brainstorm at that point. But yeah, the fact that we don't need to empty the pile is interesting because of frog. Okay, so this is not a matchup that improves post sideboard in my opinion because we don't really play stuff that matters against them. Like I can bring in Fatal Push, maybe like 1 or 2 is not unreasonable to like kill a turn 1 lackey or something. But the thing is, they get to board in like a whole bunch of shit, like probably Red Blasts, probably Mindbreak Trap, probably Surgical Extraction. You know, shuffle those things around. It might not be all of them might be more like different things. I don't think like Frog here, the damage dealt didn't matter at all. What mattered was being able to draw into the pile, and that was pretty good. So I am kind of interested in that aspect of it, but I'm not sure it's good enough. I think we can cut one of the Thassas here, and maybe a frog. I'll cut a frog. Let's just resubmit. Okay. This hand rams right into a Mindbreak Trap, but it does present. It actually presents Thoughtseize and then the One Ring. It's going to cost me a lot of resources, but I think this is worth keeping. So we can actually beat Mindbreak Trap. Forget what I said. We have to worry about them dumping some sort of like prison piece on turn 1 here, like a Chalice or the likes, but they don't. They just have Wasteland. Okay, let's do this thing. Okay, so we Thoughtseize here. Hopefully they don't have to like double Mindbreak Trap. That would suck. Okay, so they have Disruptor Flute. So Disruptor Flute kind of fucks up my that fucks up my ring. They can just name ring and then I can't activate it. So I think I'm almost certainly going to take that. And then like once they hit their 3rd mana, they unlock both Opposition Agent and Broadside Bombardiers. But I do have a Fatal Push, so I'm not like desperately upset about that. But we'll see. And like if Ring draws me a blue card, then it would have been better to probably take one of the creatures and then just force of will this flute. But we can't know that we get there. And I think I'm gonna pass here because Like Underground Sea, we would ideally want that in play after they've resolved a creature. Okay, so the flute was gone, and there we go. Okay, I don't know. I probably play the sea, but let's draw cards first. If we draw, yeah, we draw fetch land. So let's just pass. Goblin Lackey, huh? So I don't think we can allow for Mr. Lackey to stick around here. I think I am just gonna have to fatal push it. And I mean, if I draw a Doomsday, I think we will certainly win. Okay, let's those cards are not Doomsday. Okay, let's cast Brainstorm, I think. Another Force of Will. And okay, so I mean, this naming Goblin gives me comfort. Let's put away, this is turn 3, right? Let's put away a Dark Ritual and, okay, I think I'm going to cast, I'm not actually going to cast Undercity Sewers. Oh wait, never mind. I'm a land drop behind. I forgot that I spent my first turn not casting anything. Okay, never mind. So I have to discard here. Guess I'll discard Undercity Sewers. So I wonder if I'm supposed to kill the lackey before it connects, or if I should save the push. Okay, so the thing is, right now, okay, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to fetch here. Oh no, I don't know. Yeah, no, I'm gonna fetch here. That's gonna prompt them to cast the under or the opposition agent. And then I'm gonna force of will that. And then I'm probably just gonna fatal push the lackey here, and that then they can cast the broadside bombardiers post combat, but that sort of buys me another turn where it's not like throwing something at me or even attacking. I mean, let's see. They might not bite here. It seems pretty obvious. I know they have agent in hand. I'm fetching at this point. Seems pretty obvious that it is something that I want to have happen here. Okay, looks like they are taking it. Right. I don't want to sound like taking the bait. I mean, it's maybe it's a forced play and it's fine. So what do I pitch here? I probably pitch. I think there's actually an argument to me pitching the other force of will, because I think that's probably just correct here. So I get Underground Sea and then I fatal push, and now they can't. I think their turn just ends, and we have a lot of prospects for the next turn. Okay. Do we brainstorm first here? I think we do, because if we hit a Doomsday, it's just the game ends. That's not a Doomsday. Okay. I think maybe I don't know, like playing a frog right into that red blast is a little bit sort of underwhelming. So let's, yeah, I don't know. I think we draw a bunch of cards here and see where that takes us. Fetch land. We're gonna take 4 next turn from the ring. There's also a world where they, like, if they red blast, they can't cast bombardiers. Certainly, I think if I daze the red blast, that might just be true. Okay, so let's red blast this. Does it matter? I think ring is gonna finish me off, but I might hit another ring. I don't know. I'm gonna do it. Yeah. All right. Frog is dead. Ribbit in peace, little frog. Okay, I take 4 down to 5. So now is the turn where things have to happen. I think I might just start off with consider here. There's Doomsday, okay. I mean, this should do it. They could have um, the thing. They could have Mindbreak Trap, but I can actually beat that by just hard casting Doomsday here because that's the second spell. And then we will be at 2, so I can only Force of Will once. But that should be fine. So I made my land drop, so we have to put the 2 Lotus Petals here as part of the pile. But I don't know, let's see. My computer is taking a long time. Yeah, okay, I was going to say maybe they just concede because we have ring drawing 5. All right, cool. We're on the board. It's not going to be a reverse trophy. All right, off to the final round. All right, on the play for the final round. Lucky. And this hand has turn 1 the 1 ring, so it's going to cost us a lot of resources if our opponent has Force of Will. Well, it's kind of a bummer, but they are on a mulligan to 6. Okay. I think this is the play here with this hand. And let's probably play the second petal. Looks like things are just resolving here, so it might be our opponent is not a Force of Will gamer or just has not drawn one. Okay, we're passing. And we are completely defenseless, so if this is a combo deck, if they go, you know, oops all spells on me or Reanimator, then it won't have mattered at all. I suppose there is a world where I cycle Edge of Autumn and hit a Brainstorm, and then, oh, is this what we're doing? Okay, I'm actually gonna do that right now. That's hardly always correct, by the way. You should not just do that as a default, because the Edge of Autumn sort of can sometimes, in fact, quite often be like having that still in your hand is what matters, or is what makes it so that several turns later, when you have a Doomsday, whether or not you're able to win on the same turn or have to pass. So, but I think it was fine here because we're about to untap with the 1 ring, and I don't know, like just like tearing through resources here, like casting Frog is something we could do. I would honestly like to find Force of Will with this. I think I even take the days here, and then I'm gonna ponder off of Petal and just have a daze as protection. And there's a land, so that's good. So let's grab the daze, and I think play Petal here. Pass. We're up against Wasteland Go, so could be Death and Taxes, could be lands. The taxes appear to be here. Traditionally one of Doomsday's quite pleasant matchups, but let's see here. That's more true for like the faster your Doomsday deck is. Okay, I'm gonna play Frog. Not a great card in that matchup. Just into the open white mana, but we do have the daze if we feel like we need to daze. But if they plow here, I honestly don't think I daze, because I think I need to save the daze for their turn 2. And there is a plow. Do I want to discard some of this just to like pad my life total? I think I actually might want to do that. Let's discard Unearth. Potentially even LED, honestly. I don't think that does a lot in our hand. Yeah, I'm actually going to do that. It might be nuts to do that. Like having those cards in hand obviously makes like future brainstorms better. But we have the ring. And I forgot that I had a draw trigger on the stack here, so I just cycled through. But fortunately, nothing happened. Oh, Bayou. Maybe it's not taxes. What's this? Okay, this could be Bowmaster. Again, we're sort of covered with the days. Who has basic planes in Bayou? Oh, there is Doomsday. Do we just jam here? I think we do. I would be shocked um, to find force of will here. This smell a little bit like a Bowmaster's coming here. Okay, I've not made my land drop, so I can like Cavern of Souls plays here. And we have an Oracle in hand, so we could just like have Thoughtseize. Not Thoughtseize, sorry. Have Force of Will in that spot. So Ring is, let me just check here. Ring is going to draw us 4 cards. So Ring will draw us Cavern, Petal, Force of Will, and like a Cycler. Like even Bowmaster isn't even like that big of a deal, right? We drop to 7 here. Then we draw 4, Bowmasters deals us 4, and then we just win. And maybe a second Lotus Petal in case I am like not thinking clearly and I'm already made my land drop or something, but I don't think so. Okay, let's just put petals on the bottom. And here we go. I mean, I still think I probably daze a Bowmasters just out of principle, but what gets us here? If they have like double endurance, do we care? Like right now, there are going to be 2 cards in my graveyard. So if they were to endurance us, we could let the 2 cards be put underneath the 1 card, and then we cycle Edge of Autumn. But then if they have Plow as well, I don't know. I feel like we're winning this. Okay, that's in. Do you have a Plow? If so, that's alright. We have Edge of Autumn, etc. and so forth. This could just be like, I don't know, whatever the latest iteration of like Maverick is. Although I thought that was like Nadu, you know? Okay, so the thing happened. What was pitched? What was pitched? White of the Reliquary. Okay, so I think oops. I'm gonna let Endurance resolve as per what we just discussed. And then Endurance trigger happens. My Doomsday and Lotus Petal are put underneath my library. Endurance's evoke thing happens, so it dies. I cycle this by sacrificing the Cavern. I do kind of expect them to have Plow. So if they have Plow plus another Endurance plus another green card, then it's kind of bad. Doorkeeper Thrall. Wow, that's interesting. What deck plays this? Doorkeeper Thrall and Endurance in the same deck? That's a decision. Now I'm no longer afraid of anything. Okay. Sweet. Okay, so what is this? Doorkeeper Thrall. I mean, Doorkeeper Thrall belongs alongside Phyrexian Dreadnought, right? Everyone knows that. But does Phyrexian Dreadnought belong in this deck with Bayou and Basic Plains and White of the Reliquary and Wasteland? I suppose it could. I am thoroughly confused. Let's see how we want to approach it. I typically don't really like bringing in creatures versus that kind of strategy because their creatures are typically better than our creatures. Fatal Push, I could see having several juicy targets, though. Um, Maybe I just bring in 4 removal spells and bring out the Psychic Frogs and see how that feels. That again does leave us a little bit light on the blue count for force, but I mean I remember back in the day the like 2012 era blue black reanimator, back when reanimator was a pure combo deck and didn't have like a tempo element. I remember that deck played like 16 blue cards and somehow was okay with that. Which I mean, that doesn't really. It's not a very good argument to say that someone else did something bad, and yours is less bad but still bad, so it's fine. But I don't know. Does this play? Mm, Not thrilled, but I think I probably keep this. Yeah, I'm really confused about that Doorkeeper Thrall. It'll probably sort of reveal itself to me. Okay. Elvish Reclaimer. Immediately already sort of wishing I had a removal spell. Let's cycle this Street Wraith. I think we run out the pedal here in case there's like a Thalia or something coming our way. Okay, so it is just sort of a depths deck that randomly plays Doorkeeper Thrall. What? Why? Is it just to have a leg up versus Eldrazi? That doesn't matter, right? Like the Eldrazi, all new ones have like cast trigger things. Okay, I'm gonna fetch into the open sort of wasteland and get Undercity Sewers here because I think it might matter. It might speed things up. There is indeed Doomsday. How safe do I feel about putting Doomsday on the sack here? Mm. So they can get Wasteland here, which is kind of scary, but might still be fine. All right, if this resolves, I think what I'm going to do is, I don't know, like the Unearth kind of gets just smushed by Endurance, right? So I think there's a world where we want to have 2 Thassa's Oracles in the pile. There's a world where we have to respect Doorkeeper Thrall, so we have to have removal for that. We can't really just ignore Wasteland being a card that they could have. So maybe like a land and a pedal. And I think that kind of means I'm giving up on unearthing anything here. So I mean, let's try this. We have 3 ways to draw cards here with the 2 brainstorms and the unearth. Yeah, let's build the pile like this. Oops. Kind of want to draw the removal spell and the land post haste. It could also be that they just cycle by you out and get Dark Depths and then like have Ancient Tomb or something, and then we're probably dead. Okay, no, they're not getting Dark Depths. Oh, actually, they probably have it in hand, right? So I think we can still win here, but it'll be completely unprotected. So let's cast this Brainstorm. And we have to do this. There is no sort of waiting. And we put back Ring and Unearth. And then we cast a second Brainstorm. Yeah, this was a mistake. I guess what I could hope for here is that they have endurance and decide to hold off on making Dark Depths, and then like the double Oracle will save us next turn. But they're pausing. They can't cast Doorkeeper Thrall either, so that's. I mean, that would almost be better if they could. Okay, well, I am about to lose to this Endurance Evoked plus Merit, but if I had Force of Will, huh? And I could have gotten that right. I could have put instead of Fatal Push and Cavern of Souls, or wait, was Cavern of Souls in my hand? I can't remember. I think it might have been. Well, long pause from the opponent. Veil of Summer. Okay, so we might live here. Yeah, they're worried about Force of Will, so they're Veil of Summering, which means, by my reckoning, they can't cast, or they can't both. Now they can no longer make Merilage, but this probably gets us what? They're cycling a land here. Okay, I'm still assuming they have two endurances, right? Oh, okay, like that. Sweet. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. Let's see if we're able to beat another like one more of these plus an endurance, like one more of that land plus endurance, or removal plus endurance, and it's not gonna. I wonder. Yeah, I wonder why they veiled. Maybe it just didn't matter as because they were committed to not making Merit Lash that turn. So because they were cycling into the Talon Gates, but still, because there was nothing for me to counter. Right, that's my. Tell you what, it's a funny world where I draw the One Ring right now. I can't remember if it's on top, and then like they can't. Oh, okay, never mind. Okay, so I'm going to. This is pretty sweet because we have a Fatal Push. We can use that on our own Oracle, but it means we have to use the Cavern, right? So Cavern is going to cast this. This still doesn't beat the Endurance, I don't think, because there's going to be like one card too many. This is interesting. Okay, here we go. Do you have Endurance? Do you just evoke it here and then kill me anyways? Oh, they're tapping mana. So this gets killed. That's gone. And now they have maybe Endurance? No? Then I win. What's the deal? Oh, I just won. Okay. Never mind. Cool beans. We got there. Alright, alright, alright. We rallied back from an 0-3 start to then 2-0 the rest of that tournament. Yeah, no, you know what I mean. Okay, so evaluating on this league, it was obviously it was pretty like results wise pretty poor. I feel like that Jeskai control Days Undoing deck that I faced in round one was pretty close, and that's typically a matchup I'm happy to face. But we lost, and then we went on to lose to the Goblin Charbelcher Echo of Eons deck, and I don't have that much packed against combo as I mentioned in the deck tag, but still I think like we certainly have a fighter's chance there, and it was kind of close. Then we got smushed by the Doomsday in the mirror, and that was a Doomsday list that was playing like Wastelands and Stifles, which felt like an advantage, and also just I think they drew pretty well in game two, and yeah, they just did the Doomsday thing where like I'm not set up with stifles of my own or consigned to memories, so once Doomsday is like resolved and I have no pressure on them, it's almost just it's over. So that's what it is. That is what it is. and we rallied and beat the goblins deck and this Maverick deck, Maverick Depths, whatever, I don't know what it's called these days. And I think the final one was pretty interesting. It was nice to have the two oracles and like have options. Um, and yeah, I don't know. I feel like I haven't played Doomsday in a couple of weeks, and so there might also be some ring rust on my part. But I still think this deck is pretty sweet. Yeah, I'm sort of wondering about the psychic frogs. They like you do want to keep an eye on, maybe not like only when it's awesome, but also like how often does it not matter, for one thing? Like how often do you win where like you had psychic frog in your hand but it didn't matter? And more importantly, how often do you resolve psychic frog and then still lose the game? Because I think that's a metric that's worth paying attention to. Um, I Yeah, I'm kind of undecided. It would require some rejigging to like get rid of the psychic frogs here, because the psychic frogs right now is what makes this sideboard plan versus tempo work, because it saturates us with threats. If we have no psychic frogs, then just bringing in two children and two Barrowgoyf is certainly at least one creature too few, probably two. Um, so I don't know. It might mean that we want to consider going down to two psychic frogs in the main deck, and just having it as something that sometimes comes up and is pretty threatening. Um, I also think like the format is correcting itself, maybe overcorrecting, who knows, but correcting itself to really deal with Psychic Frog. So, like, the times where, like, ooh, I had Petal and Land and Psychic Frog and I'm on the play, and then my opponent just loses to that Psychic Frog, are probably, that's not going to be that common, because, like, decks are going to be able to answer a Resolve Psychic Frog, even a turn one. Maybe. I don't know. Plus, I mean, if they answer it on turn two, then yeah, drew a card, but it costs you a Petal, so you're not even up on that exchange. So I don't know, some stuff to think about. But hey, I want to say thank you so much for watching. Thanks to all the subscribers. If you're new to the channel, please go ahead and subscribe. That really helps. I noticed that about half of my viewers, according to YouTube, are not subscribed. So hey, join the channel. It helps me, makes it worthwhile producing content, and you'll get little notifications if you want it about the videos. Thanks to my members. I really appreciate you guys. You guys stay safe. Everyone stay safe, and I'll be back with some more Legacy. Bye-bye.